Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Wednesday. Welcome back to Up and Adam Channel 2 over here. We are back to talk about some Vanderpump Rules slash The Valley slash some Southern Charm. This is kind of a mashup. So hopefully you guys can stick with us on this because it's a lot. Now, before we jump in, you guys know how this works. If you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And also, if you guys did not check out our Vanderpump Rules slash The Valley recap today with Brooke and Urshia, you gotta check it out. Here we go.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
All right, guys. So we're going to start off with the reality blurb of it all. Katie Maloney took to her Instagram story on Tuesday night to address claims that Lala Kent made against her on the first installment of the Vanderpump Rules season 11 reunion. After Lala alleged that Katie had told her she felt abandoned by Ariana at their sandwich shop, something about her, and accused Ariana of being late on rent payments for their property, Katie fired back with a couple of statements on her story where she appeared to take aim at Lala's lack of integrity. I'm someone who has suffered from imposter syndrome as for as long as I've known myself. Hence why I was apprehensive about opening the sandwich shop on my own. So when Ariana was going through not only a world of hurt, but also getting some amazing opportunities that changed a lot of things during a pivotal time. I was extremely sensitive to what she was going through, but also very supportive. Now, as Ariana thrived with a role on Dancing with the Stars and a stint on Broadway, Katie admittedly felt overwhelmed by the main responsibility and the challenges of opening the restaurant. In turn, she seemed open to speaking with Lala, who ultimately exposed her private chat. I was dealing with the immense insecurity about what I could take on and simply didn't want to that on her. I had emotional response that I didn't feel was appropriate bringing to her front door. So I went to where I felt safe or where I thought I felt safe until I couldn't find or until I could find the appropriate conversation was to have with Ariana, which of course I did. And we've had plenty of those conversations since. In a second post to her Instagram, Katie appeared to criticize Lala's character for her decision to go public with what was said behind the closed doors. To know me is to know I value trust, loyalty, and integrity. All right. Now, not done. Thank you to Reality T. Lala Kent says that Katie Maloney is Ariana Maddox's bobblehead. Lala and Katie are no longer tight, as we all just saw in the Vanderpump Rules season 11 reunion part 1. Lala pressed she wants Katie to discuss her frustrations with Ariana Maddox on air, and on Katie's end, she does not want to take this route, as she'd rather have a friend she can just vent to in a private island. Clearly, Lala is not the one. In fact, she thinks that Katie is now acting as Ariana's bobblehead. Confused about how this sort of correlates. Well, hold on. Taking her frustrations with Katie to the streets, Vanderpump Rules after show, Lala Kent explains why she and Katie had a tough season together. I think we were at odds because, from my point of view, she was not very honest this season. And I don't recognize that, Katie. Like, the reason why she and I really freaking connect is because we are no bullshit. And you may not like what comes out of our mouths, but it may be harsh or aggressive, but like, this is what it is. And she then claims that Katie had called her saying, I remember the phone call well. It was a phone call between myself, Jeremiah, the producer, and Katie, and I thought it was going to be a great phone call, is what Lala said. But apparently that day was the opposite day because the phone call sucked. Katie then appeared explaining that Lala wanted her to speak up. However, if Katie's not genuinely upset with somebody at that time in that moment, I'm not going to get upset with them. Later on the camera, she stated it's not going to happen. But cue Lala again. She further explained that she and Katie had talked about the group being like bobbleheads that Ariana and Tom Sandoval surrounded themselves with, and now you've turned into one, is what Lala said. In her eyes, Katie is now a yes woman for Ariana. Okay. Well, this is a shit show. to say of the best variety. I don't even know how to necessarily address this. I think that with Katie Maloney reacting to Lala, I think that Katie did not think in any crazy world that Lala was going to release the text messages of what Katie was saying about Ariana behind the scenes. I think that Lala probably was like sitting back holding these text messages like, oh, I'm going to keep these in a vault. And I think that Katie thought, oh, I'm somewhat protected. But this was one of those great moments where she found out you're not protected, because that's the very last thing that they're doing is protecting you. Instead, they're wholeheartedly getting ready to throw your ass under the bus and make sure that you know that you will never be protected in this setting. You think you're protected on Vanderpump Rules? Girl, this is the last show that you should feel protected on. But that's a Katie problem. After being so well versed in the world of Vanderpump Rules, that is a you problem, not an anyone else. But wait, we're moving it on. Southern Charm alum Thomas Ravenel took to his X account, formerly known as Twitter, earlier this week to clap back at a post Catherine Dennis shared on her Instagram story, which she accused her ex-boyfriend of parental alienation. Now, after Catherine encouraged her fans and followers to learn more about parental alienation, providing them a link to do so, Thomas accused Catherine of lying to their children, including daughter Kensington and son Saint Julian, and skipping out on a Mother's Day visit. If you're struggling with parental alienation, listen to this, is what Catherine encouraged her online audience in the post, as seen in a screenshot shared by Bravo Snarkside on Instagram. Meanwhile, in a response, Thomas shaded Catherine over her typical behavior, as she also he targeted her delusional antics. Typical Catherine Dennis, who had every opportunity to see her kids on Mother's Day but didn't, and then chooses to blame it on me. This is her Instagram story. Her delusions and deceits and lies to her own kids never cease to shock me. Now, since Thomas won full custody of Kensington and St. Julian last year, he's accused Catherine of failing to be involved in their children's lives on a number of occasions. In September of last year, after a fan on social media asked Thomas how Catherine was and if she'd seen their kids, he said he wished that she'd be more present, before stating she hadn't seen them in 11 weeks. Months later, as Catherine was accused of a hit and run, Thomas wondered why his former girlfriend hadn't yet been arrested for her alleged crime, and explained why she wasn't seeing Kensington and St. Julian. She can't see them without a paid supervisor, and she refuses to pay for the one that we have, so she never sees them. But also at the time, he slammed Catherine as the worst person in the world. This is again another freaking shit show. I have to bring it back to you guys. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Pop off in the comment sections, please. Katie Maloney reacting to Lala throwing her under the bus. Listen, that was going to happen. She was going to throw you under the bus. And then, Lala saying that Katie should have known better. That also, yes, you should have known better. You've been on the cast with this cast for so long. You should have known that you were going to get thrown under the bus. And if you didn't know you were going to get thrown under the bus, I'm like, what show are you participating in? However, when it comes to Catherine Dennis and also Thomas Ravenel, I just feel so bad for the kids at this point. I don't know who is in the right or who is in the wrong. I've not been around them, and I also don't personally know them, so I'm not going to speak on it in that matter. But what I do want to say is this sucks. I've been in the situation. I've been the kid in the situation, and it always sucks. And my heart goes out to the kids first and foremost, more than anyone. But I want to hear what you guys think. Pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys.